friends, welcome to Lukman IS. So friends, today we are going to have one more video in the series of various videos that we have planned to post for you people to let you know the various aspects of civil services examination, its pattern, syllabus, strategy, all those things. So in that series, in this video, we are going to discuss something about the strategy for prelims. This will be part 1 of this strategy for prelims. In the next video, we will be covering part 2 also. So friends, now let us start and see why prelims is a challenge. Friends, in fact, every stage of this examination has its own challenge, and prelims has also its own unique challenge. In fact, prelims is said to be the biggest hurdle in this examination process, and the reason being the following. The first is that elimination rate is the highest at this stage. In fact, the elimination rate is 98% at this stage itself. Nearly 5 lakh candidates appear each year, and out of them only 12 to 13,000 qualify for written examination depending on the number of vacancies. So the elimination rate is 98%. So this is the biggest problem, in fact the challenge. Then the second thing is that the pattern of question is objective, and objective pattern means that there is another layer of challenge, that the candidate is expected to have more depth and more width of the knowledge. So this is another layer of challenge. And then the third is the negative marking, friends. So 1/3 of the marks is cut for each wrong answer. So given this objective pattern and negative marking, friends, we can see many examples of students not qualifying the examination barely by a few marks, like 2 marks. And therefore the competition is very tough. It has become cutthroat. And then the fourth reason for this prelims being a challenge is that the pattern of question is so much variable each year, and we can see that the cutoff in 2016 was 116, but the cutoff was as low as 98 in 2018. Therefore the prelims has its own challenge, unique challenge, friends, that we have to deal with. Now let us see, friends, what should be our approach, how we should adopt a smart approach. So the first thing that we will be discussing will be a strategy for GS paper 1, and the syllabus, we expect that you would have read the syllabus for paper 1, GS paper 1 for prelims, and you would have also observed that the syllabus for prelims runs in only 4 or 5 lines. In fact, the syllabus is illustrative in nature and not exhaustive, and it means that only it means that only reading that syllabus given for prelims in the notification of UPSC, it can hardly make anything meaningful, because they are not exhaustive. And therefore what a candidate is expected to do, the candidate should read the questions of UPSC itself for the past few years, because this will let the candidate know the demand of the question and also the syllabus of the prelims. The second thing is that for written examination also there is syllabus, friends, GS paper 1, GS paper 2 and GS paper 3. In fact, when you will go through those papers and read the syllabus, you will see that in fact they are detailing the prelim syllabus itself. So it will be advisable to read those written syllabus also, because it will give a good idea about what is expected to be read about prelims as such. So this is one thing, friends. So we have discussed two things here. One is the syllabus is not illustrative and it is exhaustive. It is illustrative and not exhaustive, and therefore we should read the UPSC question papers itself. And the second thing is that the written syllabus should be read time and again. Now friends, in this video we have tried to bring before you some of the category of questions from the 2019 prelims itself. 2019 prelims paper, GS paper 1. In fact, our purpose is to let you know that there are various categories of questions that the UPSC is putting before you in the examination. And we have categorized those questions and taken some examples from 2019 paper. So friends, let us discuss those category of questions. So the first category is questions testing basic understanding. And see, friends, we can see on the screen one question: which of the following is not included in the assets of a commercial bank in India? So in this question we need to have the basic understanding what is meant by the assets and liabilities of a commercial bank. So it is a very basic question. So this is what UPSC is trying to test, your basic understanding. Then the second question: in the context of any country, which one of the following would be considered as part of its social capital? So friends, social capital may be a topic in many of the subjects, but in news we often come across social capital, human capital, all these terms are there. So we are expected to know the basic of that term, and internet is the one very good source to understand that. So questions testing basic understanding are there, friends. That's why we should not avoid basics. We must have a very strong basic. Now the second thing is that questions testing basic understanding. This is the second category that we are discussing, friends. Questions are testing basic understanding plus application of that understanding. So let us see one example. The money multiplier in an economy increases with which one of the following? So the basic understanding required is money multiplier. What is meant by money multiplier? And now, knowing that what is money multiplier, we must apply that concept to know how money multiplier can be increased or decreased. So basic understanding plus application of that understanding. This is what required in that question. Now if we see second question, which one of the following groups of plants was domesticated in the new world and introduced into the old world, then in this question also basic understanding is required. What basic understanding? One is we must know what is new world and old world, and age of discovery, discovery of Americas, and these are the old new world, and the old world, these Harappan culture, Sumerian culture, these are the old world. This is what we are expected to know as our basic understanding of history. And then now application of that understanding. So friends, here application is that in old world, that is in Harappan culture, wheat and cotton was grown, and now knowing that thing we can eliminate three options. So here what is required is the basic understanding, new world and old world, and then also the application of understanding that in old world there was Harappan culture, wheat and cotton was already there. So how it can be introduced from new world into the old world? So the application of understanding is required in this question, friends. Although this question seems to be factual, but it requires conceptual aspect also, friends. Then there is one more category of questions which are thoroughly factual and largely based on current events. For example, one question is about World Bank's ease of doing business index. In fact, this World Bank's ease of doing business index was published on the front page of the Hindu. I can well remember that day. So this question is factual and based on current events. Similarly, there is one more question from current event, and that is factual. That is inter-creditor agreement signed by Indian banks and financial institutions recently. What was the purpose of this? This was also this also appeared in one of the editorials of the Hindu, friends. So this is another category of questions which are thoroughly factual but also based on current events. Now friends, there is one more category of question which can be solved by linking of knowledge, and I have taken one example of this question. Consider the following pairs and famous place and river is given. Now see, friends, in this question Pandharpur and Tiruchirappalli, they are famous place. Many people may not be knowing, and even if they are knowing this famous place, but the rivers on which they are situated, they may not be knowing. Now the third thing is that Hampi is on Malprabha river, but we know from our history understanding that Vijayanagar Empire is one of the very important and very well known empire, had its capital at Hampi, which is situated on Tungabhadra river. So this is what we have read in history, and now this knowledge can be used to solve this question from geography, and only knowing that Hampi is not on Malprabha, rather on Tungabhadra, we can solve this question, eliminate three options. So this is how the knowledge in history is getting utilized in solving a question from geography. This is how we can link the knowledge, pre-existing knowledge, linking of that knowledge. This is how required, friends. Then there is one more category of questions, and which are very difficult, in fact, although saying difficult is a subjective one. But we have taken one example of one question in the context of polity. Which one of the following would you accept as the most appropriate definition of liberty? So consensus is not there which option is correct. Many may be saying X option is right, many are saying Y option is right. So this is somewhere all experts are not having same opinion. So such questions may be categorized as very difficult. So friends, after having discussed all various categories of questions on the basis of 2019 paper itself, GS paper 1 itself, now let us see, friends, in general how many questions are asked from the major subjects. So on the basis of some analysis of past some 5 years, we can see that in general polity and constitution of India constitutes 10 to 15 marks, governance constitutes 5 to 7 marks, and then geography, modern history, environment, economics, each almost 15 to 20 marks, and 20 questions, friends. And then current affairs, 20 to 25 questions. Friends, what we can see that this is average. In fact, every year the weightage of one subject may decrease and the other may increase, friends. But in general, the pattern from these subjects and the rather questions allotted to these subjects, we can see that the importance of each subject is there, friends. We cannot ignore any of the subject. That geography is weak, so we should leave geography and take care of other subjects. No, this will be not be a good strategy as such. Therefore, all the subjects should be given a balanced focus, friends. This is how we should study. Now, friends, in the next video we will be discussing about the strategy for various subjects, also the role of institutions, test series, and also paper 2. So by the time we post the next video, friends, you are welcome to give your feedback and also your comments, friends. Thank you so much.